We're good to go.
Can you open this up? Or you want me to open it up?
I'll open it up.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, you sound like a jackass when you open up. This is Ultimate Strength Edition. My name's Adam. This is Jim.
You gotta put this on.
You got a goddamn sandwich in your hand.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
This is Jim and Adam from UltimateStrengthAndConditioning.com. We want to talk a little bit about neck training. We've seen a lot of stuff out lately about neck training, but most of it seems to be really baby versions of what should actually be done. We've also talked to a lot of colleges and professional teams even. A lot of colleges aren't even really spending the time and effort necessary to do this stuff right. It's not that difficult, guys. It doesn't take that long. It takes maybe 5 or 10 minutes 2 times a week to get this done properly. But we're seeing a lot of people saying, well, we don't do neck training. We don't do direct neck training, but we get plenty of work in because we're doing Olympic lifts, or we do shrugs, and that's all we do, or we're doing lunges where our head is moving side to side, or whatever. Something where the head or neck is kind of involved but not directly hit. That stuff does not train the musculature in the neck like direct neck training does. And it's time for people to wake up and realize that this stuff is very important. When ACL prevention came out years ago, people didn't know much about it. Now everybody's doing it because we know we can prevent some injuries. It's the same thing with spinal cord injuries, neck injuries, and even the concussions. We can prevent some of these things. And even if it doesn't work as well as you might hope it does, there is no reason not to. We can help prevent injuries, but we have to do it right.
Yeah, and just to build on that, one of the things that I've been seeing that hasn't been happening is that for some reason people are treating neck training differently when it comes to rules of training than other exercises. Neck training still needs to be the same as some of the other coaching principles that you're using on any other exercise. First thing, it needs to be progressive. Whereas if you have a rule for an exercise where, okay, if you hit this part of the rep range or this top of the rep range, you go up in weight. Well, if you have a neck machine that you're using, or if you're using a plate for some reason for front neck or things like that, you have to still be progressive with it. For example, if your rep range is 10 to 15 on neck, and your athlete or yourself is hitting 15 or more, then it's time to go up in weight. All right, you need to train that musculature progressively so that it will adapt and get stronger. It's not enough just to go through the motions, I guess, is kind of what you said too. Just going through the motions isn't enough. And another problem that I'm seeing is coaches and universities or private facilities that have the resources to do it the best way, they're choosing not to. And
that's kind of sad.
And like, if your budget at it, and I'm not speaking about anybody specifically, but if your budget is $300,000 at your university, and you are choosing not to purchase some of the best neck training equipment out there, and use it consistently, progressively, and comprehensively, train the neck directly, then I think it's foolish, and it is kind of sad because it's the most delicate part of your athlete's body, and that's probably the best way you can do it.
Speaking of delicate, you want to do your reps very slow. You don't need to use heavy weight. You want to slowly build up into this. So we're not talking about jerky movements, trying to put a ton of weight on there and see how much you can do. That's not what it's about. It's an injury prevention kind of thing. Let's stop this isometric thing too. If I understand that people are a little bit scared maybe of moving the neck around because there's stuff in there that you don't want to mess up. But just having your athletes do an isometric hold is only going to get them strong at that point. There's tons of scientific information showing that isometrics only get you strong at the angle that you're holding it at. Also, if you're working in large groups, are kids really giving effort on the isometrics? I think if you've been training athletes for a while, you know that if you have 100 kids out there doing an isometric, like 80 of them are not going to be pushing that hard. You also need to move through that whole range of motion to get all of the musculature trained and not just that one, just that one angle.
Very good on that. And One of the things, if you're not doing the neck, I'm not saying you have to go out there and purchase a $5,000 machine, but do this. Be proactive and take steps in the right direction to do it the best way you possibly can with your athletes.
Yeah, if you don't have the neck machines and you know you're not going to get them and you're not doing anything right now, start off with manual front and back neck and a set of shrugs. That's better than nothing. Maybe then you can start building in a row with some scapular retraction, which is not that hard if you're probably going to do some pulling movements anyway. You could do multiple sets of these exercises. Maybe you start doing a lateral flexion too. You got to start somewhere, and wherever you are, just start kicking it up a notch.
You can start anytime. It's not too late. You can start anytime if you start slow and you start light.
We will have more information on neck training on Ultimate Strength and Conditioning coming really soon, but you can also check out the videos that we've already done on here for more information on how to get it going. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.